it like this, and then that will work. You hear me? I never said I'm Hi guys. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Mary. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing good. Turn our volume way up. And
good morning, Amanda and Tamala. Good morning.
Okay, now I can see. How are you this morning?
Doing good.
Good. We're going into 2 Samuel today. What do you think about that?
It's so crazy how fast. But I guess it's like 4 or so chapters a day. But I feel like it's just flying by.
I do too. I felt like Samuel flew by.
Samuel. Yeah.
I was like, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Now that we're doing it this way, I'm almost like, we almost need a day to recap the recap. Like,
yeah.
a day after every chapter to get, okay, what just happened?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Uh,
All right. Let me put this here so I can see. I'm gonna have to scoot this back further for us to be in it. Look, they have the coffee table that I wanted from Z Gallery.
Morning, Mary.
Morning, Chris.
Yeah. Where you going? No way. Down, and then
I know I had to put a pillow over here.
half of my rear end is on one end, the other half's on the other end. Okay.
Are you okay? Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
We're still not loaded.
On what?
So we're still not both in it, but that's okay. We'll just adjust it. Okay. Mary, would you like to pray us in?
Yeah. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for another day. Thank you for another opportunity to come together and read your word. Father, I ask that you would just continue to reveal yourself through your word, Lord, and help us to see you in every word that we read. We just thank you for this opportunity. It is in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Do you have a preference of what you'd like to read today?
Nope.
All right. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Mary, Chris, me. And then let me look at this super quick. Because I think okay, 4 is a little bit shorter, and Dee would really like to read on a Monday with Miss Mary. So
Okay.
he and I will do 4 together.
Okay.
And recap you. How does that sound?
That's fine.
Okay, sounds good. All righty, we're ready. Dee, I'll let you go with that.
Good morning, Jackie. All right. Yeah, Amanda. Amanda said so fast every week in church, we are reading through Exodus, and I'm like, we're only this far because I'm used to where we are. Yeah, I can get that. All right, let's go. Second Samuel. So where we left off, in First Samuel is with Saul and his sons basically, well, not basically, they really did. Saul and his sons falling on their swords. So, chapter 1, 2 Samuel chapter 1 says, David hears of Saul's death.
Now that didn't say anything about Jonathan, right?
No, Jonathan too. Saul and his sons. Is that what you're talking about?
Okay, that's what I thought. And when I was recapping for Chris, he asked, he goes, "Did Jonathan die?"
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm thinking Jonathan didn't for some reason, but
Yeah, he did. Yeah, him and his sons. I can't remember how many sons Saul had, but Jonathan was one of them. Yeah. Okay. After the death of Saul, when David had returned from striking down the Amalekites, David remained 2 days in Ziklag. And on the third day, behold, a man came from Saul's camp with his clothes torn and dirt on his head. And when he came to David, he fell to the ground and paid homage. David said to him, Where do you come from? And he said to him, I have escaped from the camp of Israel. And David said to him, How did it go? Tell me. Remember, David was about to fight with the Philistines against Israel. But then the king told him to go back because some other people didn't want David to come. Anyway, and he answered, the people fled from the battle, and also many of the people had fallen and are dead. And Saul and his son Jonathan are also dead. Then David said to the young man who told him, How do you know that Saul and his son Jonathan are dead? And the young man who told him said, by chance I happened to be on Mount Gilboa, and there was Saul leaning on his spear. And behold, the chariots and the horsemen were close upon him. And when he looked behind him, he saw me and called to me. And I answered him, here I am. And he said to me, who are you? I answered him, I am an Amalekite. And he said to me, stand beside me and kill me, for anguish has seized me, and yet my life still lingers. So I stood beside him and killed him, because I was sure that he could not live after he had fallen. And I took the crown that was on his head and the armlet that was on his arm, and I have brought them here to my Lord. Then David took hold of his clothes and tore them, and so did all the men who were with him. And they mourned and wept and fastened until evening for Saul and for Jonathan, his son, and for the people of the Lord, and for the house of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. And David said to the young man who told him, where do you come from? And he answered, I am the son of a sojourner in Amalekite. David said to him, how is it you were not afraid to put out your hand to destroy the Lord's anointed? Then David called one of the young men and said, go execute him. And he struck him down so that he died. And David said to him, your blood be on your hand, for your own mouth has testified against you, saying, I have killed the Lord's anointed. David laments for Saul and Jonathan. And David lamented with his lamentation over Saul and Jonathan, his son. And he said, it should be taught to the people of Judah. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher. He said, your glory, O Israel, is slain on your high places. How the mighty have fallen. Tell it not in Gath, publish it not in the streets of Ashkelon, lest your daughters of the Philistines rejoice, lest the daughters of the uncircumcised exalt. Your mountains of Gilboa, let there be no dew or rain upon you, nor fields of offspring, for there the shield of the mighty was defiled, the shield of Saul, not anointed with oil. For the blood of the slain from the fat of the mighty, the bow of Jonathan turned not back, and the sword of Saul returned not empty. Saul and Jonathan, beloved and lovely, in life and in death, they were not divided. They were swifter than eagles. They were stronger than lions. Your daughters of Israel weep over Saul, who clothed you luxuriously in scarlet, and your ornaments of gold on your apparel. How the mighty have fallen in the midst of the battle. Jonathan lies, slain on your high places. I am distressed for you, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant have you been to me. Your love to me was extraordinary, surpassing the love of women. How the mighty have fallen, and the weapons of war perished.
So sad. The way he honored Saul.
Mm-hmm.
So we scoot in just a little bit. It might have been freezing for everyone. It looks like it was. I took our other computer off the internet, so it seems like it's fine now. But Mary, anything in the chat we can't see. So
Oh, okay.
if you'll let us know.
Okay.
maybe after each chapter what's in there or whatever. But I had to close that so that it would take up less internet. So
Okay.
all right. It's Dad's turn. Wait,
So the
not right now.
I guess I mean I didn't realize that the guy the guy kills Saul and he said he had fallen, right?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, kill me, and then I guess David, he's mad, so he has that guy killed. It's like, here's the guy that finally, of course, he probably was a little bit more mad over Jonathan, I would guess. I don't know that. I'm assuming that Jonathan got killed, um, but here's the guy that's been chasing him all this time, trying to kill him, and then when he gets killed, he's mad at the guy that killed him.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And has him killed.
Mm-hmm.
Most people would be like, finally, thank you. Give him a high five. Like, thanks for getting rid of him. He's been a thorn in my flesh for all these years. But and now I can take my throne. But so that's crazy. All right.
You should come out there with the dogs for a little bit and all over the pillows and stuff.
All right.
And I read next, so I'll get you before it's your turn, okay?
David anointed king of Judah. After this, David inquired of the Lord, shall I go into any of the cities of Judah? And the Lord said to him, Go up, go up. David said, To which shall I go? And he said, To Hebron. So David went up there, and his two sons, and his two wives also. Anna, I can't remember how to say that. Hinnom of Jezreel, and Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel. And David brought up his men who were with him, everyone with his household, and they lived in the towns of Hebron. And the men of Judah came, and I don't have my glasses, so I'm struggling a little bit. And there they anointed David king over the house of Judah. Those things make me dizzy. Oh, it's not? Okay. Wearing my wife's glasses again. I look like you, Mary, now a little bit. When they told David it was the men of Jabesh Gilead who had buried Saul, David sent message to the men of Jabesh Gilead and said to them, May you be blessed by the Lord, because you showed this loyalty to Saul your Lord and buried him. Now may the Lord show steadfast love and faithfulness to you, and I will do good to you because you have done this thing. Now therefore let your hands be strong and be valiant. For Saul your Lord is dead, and the house of Judah has anointed me king over them. But Abner the son of Ner, commander of Saul's army, took Ishbosheth.
That's what it looks like to me.
All right, the son of Saul, and brought him over to Mahanaim, sounds good. And he made him king over Gilead and the Asherites and Jezreel and Ephraim and Benjamin and all Israel. Ishbosheth, Saul's son, was 40 years old when he began to reign over Israel. Hold on a second. I thought all the sons died for Saul.
I guess not.
Because it's what?
The Philistines found the Philistines. It said Saul and his sons, but I guess it wasn't all of them.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Then why you kill the good one? Why is Jonathan gonna die? All right.
Yeah. Oh, and the Philistines struck down Jonathan and Abner, whatever, and Micai's sons of Saul. So yeah, it was three sons. That's what I thought, but I thought they were all of Saul's sons. I thought Saul only had three, but I guess not. I guess there was another one.
All right. Says okay. So reigned over Israel, and he reigned 2 years. But the house of Judah followed David, and the time that David was king in Hebron over the house of Judah was 7 years and 6 months. Abner the son of Ner, and the servants of Ishbosheth, the the son of Saul, went out from Mahanaim, whatever, to Gibeon, and Joab, the son of Zeruiah, and the servants of David went out and met them at the pool of Gibeon. And they sat down, the one on the one side of the pool and the other on the other side of the pool. And Abner said to Joab, Let the young men arise and complete. Let the young men arise and complete before us. Compete before us. And Joab said, Let them arise. Then they rose and passed over by number 12 of Benjamin and Ishboth, the son of Saul, and I can't see that now, and 12 of the servants of David, and each caught his opponent by the head and thrust his sword in his opponent's side. So they fell down together. Therefore, the place was called Helketh Hazarum, which is at Gideon. And the battle was very fierce that day. And Abner and the men of Israel were beaten before the servants of the Lord. And Abner, the men of Israel, were beaten before the servants of the Lord. So or servants that who? So whose men beat who? Oh, I need to. So this Abner's the son of and Ish. So the Abner and then Ish, whatever.
Are
their two groups came together to fight, right?
Right. They fought, then arose and passed over by the number 12 Benjamins, son of Saul, and 12 servants of David. So it looks like David's people beat them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Verse 18. And the three sons of Zeruiah were there: Joab, Abishai, and I don't know how to say that. Asahel. Now Asahel was as swift of foot as a wild gazelle, and Asahel pursued Abner, and as he went, he turned neither to the right nor to the left from following Abner. Then Abner looked behind him and said, It is you, Asahel. And he answered, It is I. Abner said to him, Turn aside to your right or to your left and seize one of the young men and take his spoil. But Asahel would not turn aside from following him. And Abner said again to Asahel, or what? How do you say it?
Yeah, that's fine. Asahel. Okay.
Turn aside from following me. Why should I strike you to the ground? How then could I lift up my face to your brother Joab? But he refused to turn aside. Therefore Abner struck him in the stomach with the butt of his spear, so that the spear came out the back. And he fell there and died where he was. And all who came to the place where Asahel had fallen and died stood still. But Joab and Abishai pursued Abner, and as the sun was going down, they came to the hill of Amahah, sounds good, which lies before Gahah, on the way to the wilderness of Gibeon. And the people of Benjamin gathered themselves together behind Abner and became one group and took their stand on top of a hill. Then Abner called to Joab, Shall the sword devour forever? Do you not know that the end will be bitter? How long will it be before you tell your people to turn from the pursuit of their brothers? And Joab said, As God lives, if you had not spoken, surely the men would not have given up the pursuit of their brothers until the morning. So Joab blew the trumpet, and all the men stopped and pursued Israel no more, nor did they fight anymore. So I guess he's like, why you keep chasing us? We're just going to keep killing you all if you just leave us alone. And Abner and his men went all that night through the Arabah. They crossed the Jordan, and marching the whole morning, they came to Mahanaim. I don't know. Joab returned from the pursuit of Abner, and when he had gathered all the people together, there were missing from David's servants 19 men besides Ashahel. Ashahel, is that what we said? Ashahel. But the servants of David had struck down of Benjamin, 360 of Abner's men. And they took up Ashahel and buried him in the tomb of his father, which was at Bethlehem. And Joab and his men marched all night, and the day broke upon them at Hebron. I'm so confused right now.
It was all for nothing. Literally. It was all for nothing. Like there was no purpose behind it.
Like they just were mad at each other for some reason and started.
No, it said it doesn't say that. Maybe she'll say something in the recap. But it just said, hey, let's fight.
Yeah.
Like basically, that's all it said. They were like, hey, let's fight, and they started fighting.
And but then they didn't just fight, like they kept pursuing and pursuing and killing. Clearly, they killed a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Who's reading 3?
Me. Can you please go set up the pen with me?
Can I do what?
Set up the pen, please. It's going to be a little bit loud, so I need your help. If you could set it up. Watch out, Dee. I need to read.
Hey, I wish you the best of luck. No, in the garage.
The best. Well, the garage is right here for living. Sorry, just 1 second. Right, we're not going to be walking right there. So right in front of where.
But no, I will. Cause I'll be.
I think you should. Because there's okay, I'm going to read. Thank you guys for your patience. We're trying to figure out where to set up the dogs. Hopefully it won't be too loud. That was crazy.
Yes.
The Old Testament is wild. Demarion, I can hear you, bud.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Abner joins David. Okay, so there was a long war between the house of Saul and the house of David. And David grew stronger and stronger, while the house of Saul became weaker and weaker. And sons were born to David at Hebron. His firstborn was Amnon of Ahinoam of Jezreel, and his second, Chileab of Abigail, the widow of Nabal. Oh.
So hold on. So that makes Mary. Then the guys who were fighting, one of them was a group, some of Saul's some of his men, and then the other group is David's men. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, because remember, David made one of Saul's sons kings. So yeah, that's who were fighting each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that. David made one of Saul's sons king.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, me and Chris are talking about that. I thought that all of Saul's sons had died, but I don't. Maybe it does say in here list all of Saul's sons. I don't know. I don't remember. But 3 of them died, and I guess there was still another one alive. So David made him king over part of Israel.
So did David make him king, or did he just take the role?
No, David made him king.
David did make him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. And the third, Absalom, the son of Maacah. Okay, wait a minute. Nabal of Carmel. I'm trying to rethink what happened there. Chalib of Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel. I need to go back to that.
Yeah, remember that's the guy when David asked him for like food or something and he was like, "Nah." So David said, "All right, well, we going to go kill him and all his people." And then the wife came and was like, "Listen." And she basically like negotiated and gave him food and stuff. And so David was like, "I'm not going to kill him." And then
Yeah,
she goes back home and he dies. The husband dies. So then David sends for her to come
right.
be the wife. Yeah.
Okay, that just happened. Okay. Sometimes it's just so much in my head, Miss Mary. I'm just like, Nabal was a big deal. What happened to him?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Absalom was the third one. Okay, so the son of Maacah, the daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. And the fourth, Adonijah, the son of Haggith. And the fifth, Shephatiah, the son of Abital. And the sixth, Ithream of Eglah, David's wife, the only one that's called David's wife. These were born to David in Hebron. Is this like, he's starting to sound like Chris? No. Who is it that has all the kids?
Nick
Um,
Cannon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which, why?
Yeah. Some of these women hadn't been mentioned before. So they're
Yeah,
kind of, I don't know where they came from. They're kind of new on the scene. So
yeah. I'm like, who is this? Where did she come from? Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Okay. While there was war between the house of Saul and the house of David, Abner was making himself strong in the house of Saul. Now Saul had a concubine whose name was Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah. And Ishbosheth said to Abner, "Why have you gone into my father's concubine?" Who said this? And
Saul's son Ish whatever it is Saul's son that David made king.
oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Why have you gone into my father's concubine? Then Abner was very angry over the words of Ishbosheth and said, "Am I a dog's head of Judah? To this day I keep showing steadfast love to the house of Saul your father, to his brothers and to his friends, and have not given you into the hand of David. And yet you charge me today with a fault concerning a woman." Abner is he king over there now? No, is he?
No, Abner is like a guy who is over. I don't know if he's exactly over the army, but I know he's a part of the army. But I think he's over. He's like a commander of the army
Yeah,
of
leader. Okay.
Ish. Yeah.
Okay. Um, and yet you charge me. God do so. Wait. God do so to Abner and more also, if I do not accomplish for David what the Lord was sworn to him, to transfer the kingdom from the house of Saul and set up the throne of David over Israel and over Judah from Dan to Beersheba. And Ishbosheth could not answer Abner another word because he feared him. And Abner sent messages to David on his behalf, saying, "To whom does the land belong? Make your covenant with me, and behold, my hand shall be with you to bring over all Israel to you." And he said, "Good, I will make a covenant with you. But the one thing I require of you, that is, you shall not see my face unless you first bring Michal, Saul's daughter, when you come to see my face," or Michael. Then David sent messengers to Ishbosheth, Saul's son, saying, "Give me my wife, Michael." I don't know how to say her name. "For whom I paid the bridal price of 100 foreskins of the Philistines." And Ishbosheth sent and took her from her husband, Paltiel, the son of Laish. But her husband went with her, weeping after her all the way to Bahurim. Then Abner said to him, "Go return." And he returned. The love triangle.
I want to know what she
You
was
are not
doing.
acting right.
I want to know Michael. I think it's Michael. I'm not sure, but I want to know what she was doing. Was she like, leave me alone?
I'm
I
trying to
want
go
my
back to my
husband, the one I.
man. My dad put me with you. I don't even know why. I'm trying to go home. And she said, that's funny because she said way earlier, she said, and he's not too happy about that, which we'll see later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's funny. I was like, okay, here it is. Oh my gosh, her husband. That's kind of, I'm sorry.
Because didn't it say that she was really pretty?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it mentioned that. So he's probably like super.
He's sprung and in love.
Yeah.
When Abner came with 20 men to David, oh wait, whoops, my bad. And Abner conferred with the elders of Israel, saying, for some time past you have been seeking David as king over you. Now then, bring it about. For the Lord has promised David, saying, by the hand of my servant David, I will save my people Israel from the hand of the Philistines and from the hand of all their enemies. Abner also spoke to Benjamin. And then Abner went to tell David at Hebron all that Israel and the whole house of Benjamin thought good to do. Okay, hold on one second. Abner conferred with the elders. Bring it about by the hand of my servant David and from the hand of all their enemies, who spoke to Benjamin. Why Benjamin?
It's one of the leaders, one of the tribes.
Thought good to do. And then Abner went to tell David at Hebron all that Israel and the whole house of Benjamin thought good to do. What's different about the house of Benjamin?
Just a different tribe. Because they had different tribes.
Wasn't Benjamin the one that back in Judges? Was it Benjamin that they had the fight with? Yeah, remember in Judges, there was the end of Judges, there was this big fight because Benjamin, remember the guy with his concubine? The guy's concubine had left.
Benjamin not go?
Huh?
Benjamin didn't go fight?
No. It's the tribe of Benjamin. The tribe of Benjamin is where the guy stayed that did that to his wife. And remember, they kind of like separated. So it was like Benjamin and Israel.
Everybody, yes.
Yeah.
So now they're speaking.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they're speaking in, that's funny. So being reminded of that. And then Abner went to tell David at Hebron all that Israel and the whole house of Benjamin thought good to do. We're not completely reconciled yet, it sounds like.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
When Abner came with 20 men to David at Hebron, David made a feast for Abner and the men who were with him. And Abner said to David, I will arise and go, and will gather all Israel to my lord the king, that they may make a covenant with you, and that you may reign over all that your heart desires. So David sent Abner away, and he went in peace. Just then the servants of David arrived with Joab from a raid, bringing much spoil with them. But Abner was not with David at Hebron, for he had sent him away, and he had gone in peace. When Joab and all the army was with him, that was with him, came, it was told Joab, Abner the son of Ner came to the king, and he has let him go, and he has gone in peace. Then Joab went to the king and said, what have you done? Behold, Abner came to you. Why is it that you have sent him away so that he is gone? You know that Abner, the son of Ner, came to deceive you and to know you're going out and you're coming in and to know all that you're doing. Joab murders Abner. Oh. Mm-hmm. When Joab came out from David's presence, he sent messengers after Abner, and they brought him back from the cistern of Sirah, but David did not know about it. And when Abner returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside into the midst of the gate to speak with him privately. And there he struck him in the stomach so that he died for the blood of Asahel, his brother. This is a revenge killing?
Yeah, because Abner had killed Asahel. Yeah, and had killed him in the exact same way.
Yes.
That's who that was a while ago. Okay. Afterward, when David heard of it, he said, I and my kingdom are forever guiltless before the Lord for the blood of Abner, the son of Ner. May it fall upon the head of Joab and upon all his father's house. And may the house of Joab never be without one who has a discharge, or who is leprous, or who holds a spindle, or who falls by the sword, or who lacks bread. Exclamation point in the Bible. So Joab and Abishai, his brother, killed Abner because he had put their brother Asahel to death in the battle at Gibeon. David mourns Abner. Then David said to Joab and to all the people who were with him, tear your clothes and put on sackcloth and mourn before Abner. And King David followed the bier. They buried Abner at Hebron, and the king lifted up his voice and wept at the grave of Abner. And all the people wept. And the king lamented for Abner, saying, should Abner die as a fool dies? Your hands were not bound, your feet, were not fettered, as one falls before the wicked, you have fallen. And all the people wept again over him. Then all the people came to persuade David to eat bread while it was yet day. But David swore, saying, God, do so to me, and more also, if I taste bread or anything else till the sun goes down. And all the people took notice of it, and it pleased them, as everything that the king did pleased all the people. So all the people and all Israel understood that day that it had not been the king's will to put to death Abner, the son of Ner. And the king said to his servants, do you not know that a prince and a great man has fallen this day in Israel? And I was gentle today, though anointed king. These men, the sons of Zeruiah, are more severe than I. The Lord repay the evildoer according to his wickedness. Will you get deep, please? Chapter 4. Ishbosheth murdered. When Ishbosheth, Saul's son, heard that Abner had died at Hebron, his courage failed, and all Israel was dismayed. Now Saul's son, I'm connecting dots in my head. Now Saul's son had two men who were captains of raiding bands. The name of the one was Bana, the name of the other was Rechab, sons of Rimmon, a man of Benjamin from Beeroth. For Beeroth also is counted part of Benjamin. The Beerothites fled to Gittaim and have been sojourners here to this day.
All the way down to where?
Jonathan.
Okay. Jonathan? All the way to
You
where?
gotta be super loud.
Okay, but Jonathan all the way to where?
Jonathan to Mephibosheth. Mephibosheth. Go for it. And then I'll read the rest.
Jonathan, the son
Way
of Saul.
louder. Miss Mary has to hear you way over there.
Jonathan, the son of Saul, had a son who was...
I can't hear you.
Jonathan, the son of Saul, who had a son who was crippled in his feet. He was 5 years old when the news about Saul had Saul and Jonathan came from Jezreel, and his nurse took him up and fled, and as she fled in her haste, he fell and became lame, and his name was
Watch this. Just that.
Mephibosheth.
Put it together.
Mephibosheth.
Mephibosheth.
Oh yeah,
Good job.
Good job, Dee.
Thank you so much, Dee.
that's a weird name.
It is a weird name. Now the sons of Rimmon, the Beerothite, Rechab, and Baanah set out, and about the heat of the day they came to the house of Ishbosheth as he was taking his noonday rest. Uh-oh. And they came into the midst of the house as if to give wheat, and they stabbed him in the stomach. Why did I know this was happening? Then Rechab and Baanah, his brother, escaped. I lost you, Mary. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Uh-oh.
I can hear you. I just lost video.
Okay, I got a phone call. It did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm going to, hopefully the link will still work. I'll leave and come back.
Okay. And they came into the midst of the house as, oh, I read that part. When they came in, they struck him, okay, the stomach. Then Rechab and Baanah, his brother, escaped. When they came into the house, as he lay on his bed in his bedroom, they struck him and put him to death and beheaded him. They took his head and went by the way of Arabah all night and brought the head of Ishbosheth to Hebron, at Hebron. And they said to the king, here is the head of Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, your enemy, who sought your life. The Lord has avenged my lord the king this day on Saul and on his offspring. But David answered Rechab and Baanah his brother, the sons of Rimmon, the Beerothite, as the Lord lives, who has redeemed my life out of every adversity. When one told me, behold, Saul is dead, and thought he was bringing good news, I seized him and killed him at Ziklag, which was the reward I gave him for his news. How much more when wicked men have killed a righteous man in his own house? On his bed shall I not now require his blood at your hand and destroy you from the earth. And David commanded his young men, and they killed them and cut off their hands and feet and hanged them beside the pool at Hebron. But they took the head of Ishbosheth and buried it in the tomb of Abner at Hebron. So there's a lot of revenge going on. That's what I'm hearing. A lot of revenge.
As soon as David takes the kingship, like there's a lot of killing going on. Almost like there's a fight for power and trying to see who can kind of come in and control and get power.
They're all revenging. They're all,
Yeah.
these guys killed these guys because they killed the brother, and then these guys killed those guys because they killed him, and David sends people to kill those guys because they killed Saul's son.
I'm just curious if all of this would have happened if David didn't anoint Saul's son as king. If he hadn't done that.
But he was doing it out of obligation. Like, that was the right thing to do, right?
I mean, I can understand it, but God told him that he was the king. So why are you putting somebody else over something that God told you were supposed to be over?
But how do you...
But they had different.
The way that David functions, he's like, order, do the right thing. He's always honoring. And so if nobody knows another way other than it just keeps going down the line to the son, and there's no sons left but this guy, you would think that, I mean, obviously God's will is being done, but I mean, his will is going to prevail. But it seems within David's character to do that. To
Yeah.
be, it might be a mess, like
Mhm.
it always has been,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna follow the rules.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I
gonna
get
honor.
why David did it. Just
Mhm.
saying, I don't think he was really supposed to do it.
You think he's in trouble?
No, I don't think he's in trouble. I'm just saying it caused a lot of problems because he did that. Even though he thought he was doing the right thing,
Hmm.
it still caused a lot of problems.
It also probably shows the people before David's king. I don't know. Like, this is why David is becoming king, because everybody else is a mess. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, because he's not a son, so
Mm-mm.
it's only God that puts him in that position. He's not even.
Right. But listen though, the people knew who was supposed to be king.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's the thing. Like the people knew. The people didn't
Mario.
expect Saul's son to take over. The
Yeah.
people knew what was going to happen or what was supposed to happen.
Yeah. Now everybody knew that David was supposed to be the king.
Lay down right there.
Um,
Get a pillow and lay down.
I say everybody. I mean, I would say most people really knew.
Yeah.
So that was what was going to happen, especially after Jonathan and Saul died.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, because Jonathan was the rightful heir.
Mm-hmm.
But it is weird that David lets one of the other sons. I don't know what his move was with that, what his thought process was with that, but that he let one of his other sons become one of the kings of the tribes. It just doesn't make sense.
There's room for you to be seen.
Yeah. It really didn't make sense to me either. I get what Stacey's saying. Like he felt like he was doing the right thing, which I agree. But at the same time, I'm curious as to what his relationship was with his son too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it doesn't talk about it
Well,
before.
and David is
Or him at all. All of a sudden
Yeah.
he's here.
He's a warrior, so he's probably thinking strategically. Like, if I put him there, he's one of Saul's boys. Like, he can kind of, it kind of keeps some peace. Maybe thinking that, like, he's thinking from that point of view as a guy, like thinking, man, if I take one of his sons and make that, maybe that'll keep things chill for a little bit as we kind of figure all this out.
Chill is not what it is.
And it turned out to be just the opposite. But I don't know. No telling. But yeah. I mean, obviously God knew what he was doing.
But if somebody's, I'm gonna say mama, okay, because I'm a woman. If somebody's mama is trying to kill me, okay, and then she die, I'm not about to be cool with the dollar,
Right.
and I'm not about to have the dollar all like we not about to.
But if you are honoring that mama,
who's that? Because I must have been doing something with the dogs. What happened?
You're honoring that mama.
Who's mama? What are y'all talking about?
Saul.
I'm saying like for me, if I said if I'm David, right? But I said mama because I'm a woman,
right.
Okay. But if I'm David, and I'll just say this: if I'm David and the daddy's trying to kill me, and then the daddy died, I'm not about to become cool with the son.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, and maybe it's just because how I'm wired, but I feel like your loyalty is always going to be to your father.
Well, but Jonathan wasn't that way, and so.
But Jonathan and David had a relationship, though, so that's why I said I was curious as to what his relationship with this other son was.
Right.
But it still falls in line with David's character. He doesn't do anything out of animosity or disrespect, or he's always honoring whoever's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So because I'm the same, I wouldn't be good with anybody, but he like the only reason he was gone is because Saul was coming after him. Otherwise he's like, why are you even doing this? What have I done? And he really, like, he was honoring Saul when he was there. When he was with the Philistines, he was honoring the Achish or whatever his name was. He was honoring him. You know, like it's whoever. He's so respectful. That's what I'll say. He just seems so like trying to do things out of respect for
Mm-hmm.
God's anointed. That's the way he sees him. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't see him as the man who's trying to kill me, his son. My enemy. He never sees Saul. He never sees Saul as his enemy. He never talks about him like that. He just always calls him my Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And he does the same with the son. Like the way that he and it reminds me of in this book, the anointing of the Sarah anointing. It talks about even when Abraham was just acting ridiculous, being selfish, all these things, she still called him my Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with there's something to that way of addressing people that is just not who I am. Like just I'm like, if you're gonna be acting like that, you lost my respect. I'm not. He's so respectful
Mm-hmm.
through all of this to whoever, even though it's a bunch of bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
He almost makes you feel bad for Saul. He makes you feel bad for Ishbosheth. He makes you feel bad for I can't remember the Philistines. Achish.
Atheist, I think.
Achish. Anyway.
Wait,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't feel bad for none of them. Like, I
I know.
don't.
Mom, what did the Philistine do?
I don't.
We'll talk about it in a little bit. She's about to read the recap.
Okay. Recap.
I want to be here when she says he's with us.
Listen, shh, we're almost done.
Samuel appointed the new king before he died, but there's no precedent for this and no plan in place on how to move forward. Meanwhile, David has been living in his refugee home in Philistia, and he just defended the Amalekites. He he just defeated the Amalekites. He was a 3-day journey away. Okay. He was a 3-day journey away from the battle. I'm in the right place. Saul was fighting, but an excited messenger comes to tell David what he thinks will be good news. Your enemy is dead, and I killed him.
Oh.
This guy obviously doesn't know David's character. Plus, his story is inconsistent with scripture. That's what I was thinking. I was like, it did not say that. First Samuel 31:4 says Saul fell on his sword, but since David doesn't have access to 1 Samuel 31, he believes the messenger. Killing the king warrants the death penalty, so David orders it. David asks God what to do next, and God sends him to Hebron in Judah. Judah is the largest tribe by far, and that's the tribe that David is from. They have their own army of sorts, and David, oh, here we go, is a Judahite. They make David king, but only over their tribe.
The tribe.
Everything goes well until some of Saul's people want to stay in power. They anoint one of his surviving sons, Ishbosheth.
David didn't do that.
I thought David did it, but I guess I was wrong.
Okay.
As king over the other 11 tribes. After about 2 years of having 2 kings in the promised land, the commanders of the 2 armies meet for a chat by the pool. Abner is the commander of Team
Ishbosheth.
Ishbosheth, okay. And Joab is the commander of Team David. They fight multiple battles, and eventually Abner calls a truce. It's a smart move because Team Ishbosheth lost nearly 20 times the men as Team David did.
Mm.
David's power grows, as does his family. He has 6 kids and 6 wives and concubines. Meanwhile, Abner also amasses power. But then something happens that shifts everything. Ishbosheth accesses accuses Abner of sleeping with one of Saul's concubines. Saul is long dead, so why is this a big deal to Ishbosheth?
Right.
Sleeping with a former king's wife or concubine is often a strategic display of power, a move to take over the throne. Ishbosheth is essentially accusing Abner of attempting a coup against him. We never find out if it's true, but Abner is so offended by the accusation that he makes an oath to help David become king over all 12 tribes. God is working out his plan even through these accusations. Abner tells David he wants to join his team, and David basically says, "Remember when your cousin Saul took my wife, Michal, away from me without my consent? I may have several other wives now, but I want her back. Make it happen, or the deal is off." Michal goes back to David, but she's still married to her second husband. When Abner gets the other tribes on board with David as king, he gives David the good news. But his timing is terrible because Joab, David's military commander, isn't there at the time. When Joab hears that Saul's former military commander is acting nice, he becomes suspicious and kills him. King Ishbosheth is upset over Abner's death, even though they're recent enemies. Things begin to crumble for Ishbosheth, and eventually he's killed by his military captains, who then brag to David that they killed his enemy. David orders the death penalty, but their wicked even through their wicked actions, God's plan to position David as king moves another step forward. Saul's surviving male family member is his grandson, Mephibosheth, son of Jonathan. He's unlikely to make an attempt for the throne because he's young and was crippled in an accident. At this point, it looks like we're poised for David to be king over all 12 tribes of Israel.
Whew.
Today's God shot. People think they're pleasing David by killing his enemies. But he says, "I was gentle today, though anointed king." The position of king makes people fear him as one who may be harsh and ruthless. But David says he's not the king of kings. He's not that kind of king. God referred to David as a man after his own heart. That was in 1 Samuel 14. And his character here shows us glimpses of his heart. In fact, God says something along these very lines about himself. "I take no pleasure in the death of wicked people. I only want them to turn from their wickedness so they can live." And that's in Ezekiel 33:11. Um, though he's the king, he's gentle. The kind of king we can draw near to instead of run from. Is D in there? And is he not listening?
He's where the door is.
He was trying to sneak up on his dad. He was trying to be quiet.
Oh, okay.
You messed him up.
Sorry, D.
He didn't realize what was going on. Okay. I feel like that cleared a lot of things up, and that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yet again, that was
Yeah.
crazy. I think, how do we see God in this? Can you get can you get off the pillows that are already crazy? Again, respect is what came up. Character. Through all of this, she said that, and I was thinking that's how I keep seeing David. This guy, okay, he says, The excited messenger comes to tell David what he thinks will be good news. Your enemy is dead, and I killed him. Like we were saying, like, this is my enemy. I have nothing for him, like. But then she says, this guy obviously doesn't know David's character. And also, but his story that does not align with scripture. But
here's what I thought. Sorry, really quick. What I thought was interesting is that the guy who told David that Saul was dead is an Amalekite. David had just the Amalekites had just stolen, if I remember correctly, had just stolen David's wives. And he had to go over there and like fight them. But yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when he was running, when he was in the cave, he was hiding.
Well, no, this is when he was
Sunday.
Yeah, he was gonna go to war with the Philistines, and then some of the Philistine people was like, we don't want him. And so David went back, and when he went back to Philistine territory, he saw that it was destroyed and that the Amalekites had come.
Right.
Yeah.
There were two of them. The first one, they completely, they took some of. The second one was completely burned down.
Right.
Then they find that guy that I told you about that's just a loner out there who got sick. They left him behind. That guy takes him to the Amalekites.
Right.
To destroy them. And they had taken some of David's wives.
Well, he only had two.
At the time, he did. He only had two. He had
three, I guess, with Michael, but not technically.
Yeah, but at the time, he only had two.
Right.
It doesn't say where these other women came from.
Well, over and over again. So I think about, what is it, God, that you see as a man after your own heart? And for me, something that I'm seeing about David that God honors is he is not delighted in someone saying, I got your back. I took care of your enemy for you. He's not. This is a man who tried to kill him, tried to destroy him, and that he's very much about his character is I see boundaries, I see order, I see the things. He's not taking anything, like he's not, even though I think obviously with all the killing going on, people would have understood if he took care of Saul. People would have, it would have, even like his guy was like, why will there be, why will you not kill your enemy? We're standing right here with him, like it would make sense, but I'm just trying, in my mind is trying to connect this man after my own heart. Well, what does that look like? He's so respectful. He's so humble. He respects authority, but he also sees people differently than we do. Like, he sees someone who's coming after him. He has empathy over right and wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you are wrong. You are coming after me. You are taking up all the government money and time.
Well, we have to also remember that David had a relationship with Saul. This wasn't just the king. He was the king, but David had a relationship with him.
Yes, but a lot of that relationship was being hunted by him.
Before that.
Yes.
Before that, they had a relationship up until the point where people started singing that song, and they was like, David killed the 10,000 and Saul the 1,000, and Saul was like,
he lost his mind.
Yeah, he started feeling some type of way. Yeah, and so they had a relationship too before.
Yes, and same with the Philistines. It's not I don't remember it really being talked about too much, but he's obviously living among the Philistines for a long time
Mm-hmm.
and probably developed a relationship with Achish or whatever his name was. Because he too, like, I don't know what his plan was, but when they're like about to go fight the Israelites, he's like, am I not to protect my Lord? You know, and he just has a very fierce commitment character, you know, like he adores his devotion to God is unmatched. The way he talks to him, not just about God, to God. And it doesn't matter. Like, even though, and God sees this, even though God's anointed him king, he's holding his place in the earthly realm to not overstep or overtake, or there's just no pride, which is what Pastor Robert talked about yesterday, was just, you just don't see any pride in David. He's not a prideful man, even though he could have been over and over and over. Anyway.
But David also had a repentant heart too.
Yes.
And we see that in the Psalms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So whenever he did something, he repented for it.
Yeah. Hi, sleepyhead.
Hi, Isaiah. Good morning.
There's not. I think the chat is still, but nobody said anything. So
stay on that side, babe. His belly hurts. Okay, come here, guys.
What are you?
We're about to close out.
Okay, can I say what are you excited about?
Go for it.
What are you excited about today? We get to play today. Even how can you show extraordinary love today? So I'm excited about.
If somebody just came on here, they would have no idea what you just said. Repeat after me. What are you excited about today?
What are you excited about today?
What gets no play today?
What gets no play today?
And with whom and how?
And with whom and how?
Can you share God's extraordinary love?
Extraordinary love.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about seeing the cousins today. What gets no play today is not bringing the football, and my extraordinary love is.
Maybe give eye contact.
My extraordinary love is probably the cousins.
Yes. Sounds good.
All right,
Why
Kim.
don't you ask Miss Mary what she's excited about?
What are you excited about today?
Can you speak up?
I'm excited about. I guess technically I am working, but not as much. So I only have a couple of kids to tutor today because it's Juneteenth, and so some people.
Happy Juneteenth.
Yeah, happy Juneteenth, everybody. So some people didn't want to do tutoring today, which is completely fine. No play today is I have to clean up because I didn't do it yesterday. So I need to clean up my house. So not cleaning up. And then love goes to my brother because it's his birthday.
Oh, Juneteenth is his birthday?
I forget.
Yeah.
Hold up, Juneteenth is his. Today's actually Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm. It is. Isn't that cool? I have something for y'all to watch later.
I already know what Juneteenth is all about. It's when
I know.
they figured out they were free.
It's what?
When they figured out they were free.
Who's they?
Slaves.
Mm-hmm.
I already knew that. We learned that in history class in 3rd grade.
That's good. Do you know where they were when they found out?
Dallas, Texas.
Texas. Galveston. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm excited to do some CEUs today.
What's CEU?
Some education, some online education for my license. To spend. We are at the We are near the property, going to do work all week this week. So I'm really excited for the guys to get there and do a lot of guy things that need to get started. So that's exciting. And what gets no play is my body not being in line with the extraordinary health that God has called to my body. And extraordinary love goes to my kids. I'm going to be around them a lot this week. So And my sister. Yeah.
And your brother-in-law.
Well, I'm not going to be around Brian much. Yeah.
Is he
all right?
No. He's your cousin-in-law?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Brian.
Babe, let's pay attention.
Okay. Well.
You want to count us, babe? You want to count us off, D?
1, 2, 3.
He's
He's
for the joyous.
Hold on, I need that picture for future promotion.
Let
me do that again.
What's a promotion?
Okay.
Oh.
Just smile. Almost. There we go. Chris, can you lean down into the picture a little bit so I can get you? I can't make this higher. Okay, awesome. Got it.
Thank you.
No, I didn't. It moved to photo. I'm so sorry. I need this to have for promotion. Okay, do it again. I can't see your heart. Bring your heart in a little bit, D and Mary. There we go.
Hold up. You're not videoing. Why is it?
Say ya. Now smile, D. Okay, we got it. Say's like, you're not videoing. I don't know how I missed that. Listen, thank you to Miss Mary. Thank you so much for being here today. As always, we love starting our week with you. You are such a blessing, such a beautiful blessing. Any comments we need to?
No, people stop commenting. So,
okay. All right.
No, that was
it. Everybody have an amazing day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Okay, bye.